John Steiner, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
So, good morning. It
Morning.
is so great to be in community with San Francisco Center for Spiritual Living this morning, even virtually, because I know that we are connecting on a level with each other that transcends Wi Fi, the internet, and Facebook, all of those frequencies. We are connecting heart to heart, mind to mind, soul to soul. And even if we didn't have all of this technology, we have quantum physics. So we would just communicate and connect through non local communication. So we've got this thing covered. And just knowing this it brings peace of mind. At the center of our being, there is this place. Call it consciousness, call it mother, father, spirit, God, call it the universe, call it universal mind, whatever you call it. It is this place of limitlessness, of infinite intelligence and creativity and possibility. It is from this place that we all have access to when we center ourselves in consciousness or in God, that we experience oneness and unity with all that is. This is the place that we endeavor when we to experience through prayer, through meditation, like the meditation earlier. We endeavor to experience this place through our spiritual practices. It is this place where we find that we are inextricably connected. And that is the topic for this morning, inextricably connected. So I don't think I have ever used that word in a sentence before now. And so to be clear on exactly what it means, I figured it meant something like inseparable, but I decided to look it up on Google just to make sure that I was clear. And isn't it wonderful that we don't have to dig through paper dictionaries and microfiche and the Dewey Decimal System to get information anymore? I just simply, have instant access. We all have instant access through Google and Siri and Alexa, and they're like oracles. And we don't even need a crystal ball. We can just ask them anything and they will answer. They're listening all the time, listening and waiting and listening and waiting. It's kind of creepy, really, but they know way too much. But anyway, so the definition I found for inextricably is in a way that is impossible to disentangle or separate. So I immediately thought of mushrooms. Yes, mushrooms. I thought of mushrooms. Um, Mushrooms, there's this documentary called Fantastic Fungi, or is it fungi? Fungi, I think they use both words. And it's pretty amazing. So as strange as the word is, fungi, it's even stranger but more powerful life form on this planet. The way that it grows, the different areas that it supports. So they're quite amazing. What we know about them is a little bit like what we know about God, which is not much. We know how miraculous they are and mysterious they are and powerful they are. We know that they can heal. We know if you eat the wrong ones, you can kill yourself. We know that they recycle and they transfer intelligence. So I went on a mushroom foray a couple years ago in the forest of Angwin, which is pretty close to Napa, California. And the mushroom guides or experts were really amazing. I mean, we were walking through this forest and looking for mushrooms. We were just hunting for them, and there were mushrooms in all different shapes and sizes, growing on, pieces of dead wood, growing in the ground. Purple ones, white ones, brown ones, all different colors. Really beautiful golden colors, almost like an amber. And the experts told us that the part that we see above the ground is the fruit is just a tiny part of the fungi. It's just a little tiny piece of it. You can pick all the mushrooms you want and you'll never kill it because this larger living organism will just continue to produce more fruit. So this organism is actually under the ground. And so it keeps producing more. And in the documentary, Fantastic Fungi, they explore the root of the mushroom, the part that's underground, which is called the mycelium. So mycelium are threads that are growing in every direction and they're entangled like a web. And for every step you take in a forest, anywhere in the world, you are actually stepping over about 300 miles of mycelium beneath your feet because it's growing deep into the earth and across. So you're stepping on 300 miles of that. And mycelium works similar to our neural network with electrolytes and with electrical pulses. And their network is called a mycorrhizal network. So trees are connected to mushrooms through this mycorrhizal network. And so the network is like party lines back in the day. When you used to pick up the phone and it was a party line, all your neighbors were on it. Okay, and if you need something more current, then it's kind of like today's social media. It's kind of like today's social media, only with more accurate and reliable data, right? The mycorrhizal network has more accurate data. So through this network, trees swap information and nutrients. They, like one tree might, send a message over to another tree and say, hey, can I borrow a cup of sugar? And the other tree says, sure, here you go, right? So it's something like that. They also communicate, the mama trees communicate with their seedlings. And so they support them, influencing them and directing them and yelling at them when they're doing things they're not supposed to be doing, the things that mamas do. And they push them out. They send them to safe places to germinate and thrive when there's danger nearby. So that's kind of the way that trees connect through this network that the mushrooms create, right? So trees also take in CO2, which is our biggest greenhouse gas, and they take that in from the environment and they convert some of it to oxygen. And that's what we humans and the animals need in order to survive. So can you see how close we are to the mushroom, like how important the mushroom is, and its underground network, how important that is to our very survival and how connected we all are? So the trees they also have a surplus, right? So they have 70% of the CO2 of the carbon that they collect, they send underground and it's stored by the mycelium. So they store it for later use. Everything on this planet is connected to the good work that the fungi do. Everything. They recycle that which is dying and toxic. They heal with their medicinal qualities as found in the antibiotic penicillin. They are immune building, as in the reishi mushroom and the chaga mushrooms. Those are immune building mushrooms. And there's also mushrooms that help with the regeneration of neural networks through the scientific application of mushrooms like lion's mane and psilocybin. Those mushrooms are lion's mane, actually, they're using it for Alzheimer's, and psilocybin has been used for people that have experienced pain and trauma in order to regenerate the neural networks. So much we have learned about mushrooms and the way that they support our lives, and there's so much more yet to learn. So we're inextricably connected by divine design. Reverend Muada and I were discussing this topic yesterday of being inextricably connected. And he was reminded of a poem by Thich Nhat Hanh. And if you don't know who Thich Nhat Hanh is, he is a Zen master, a global spiritual leader, a poet, a peace activist. And he's revered around the world for his teachings on mindfulness, global ethics, and peace. And right now, he's in the process of making his transition. And so we are deeply grateful for the works that he brought to us, for the light that he brought to this world, that only in a way that only he could bring it. And so we're keeping him in prayer at this time. But the poem that Reverend Muada read to me is called Clouds in Each Paper. And it goes like this. If you are a poet, you will see clearly that there is a cloud floating in this sheet of paper. Without a cloud, there will be no rain. Without rain, trees cannot grow. And without trees, we cannot make paper. The cloud is essential for the paper to exist. If the cloud is not here, the sheet of paper cannot be here either. So we can say that the cloud and the paper inter-are. Interbeing is a word that's not in the dictionary yet. But if we combine the prefix of inter with the verb to be, we have a new word, a new verb actually, interbe. Without a cloud, we cannot have paper. So we can say that the cloud and the sheet of paper inter-are. If we look into this sheet of paper even more deeply, we can see the sunshine in it. If the sunshine is not there, the forest cannot grow. In fact, nothing can grow. Even we cannot grow without the sunshine. And so we know that the sunshine is also in this sheet of paper. The paper and the sunshine inter-are. And if we continue to look, we can see the logger who cut the tree and brought it to the mill to be transformed into paper. And we see the wheat. We know that the logger cannot exist without his daily bread. And therefore, the wheat that became his bread is also in this sheet of paper. And the logger's father and mother are too. And when we look at it in this way, we see that without all of these things, this sheet of paper cannot exist. So, we are not only connected to this earth and everything in it and on it, we are all that we just discussed, and we are so much more. We are cosmic citizens. We are of the cosmos. We are stardust manifested into human form. We are walking miracles, light bringers, intelligence keepers, peace warriors, love givers, brilliant creative expressions. We are all stars. We just need to remember to shine. And we remember to shine when we remember that we inter-are, as our beloved Thich Nhat Hanh teaches. Carl Sagan said this: "The surface of the earth is the shore of the cosmic ocean. On this shore, we've learned most of what we know. Recently, we've waded a little way out, maybe ankle deep. And the water seems inviting. Some part of our being knows this is where we came from. We long to return, and we can, because the cosmos is also within us. We are made of star stuff. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself." Okay, we have a purpose. And our purpose is to be and know fully who we are, because we are a way for the cosmos to know itself. How exciting is that? How wonderful is it that absolutely everything is inextricably connected? Once you start with one thing and begin to trace its origin, you find that it's connected to everything else. It's connected to everything else because it all connects back to God. Consciousness, spirit, God, the source of all things. And what does that mean for us out in the world? Well, I believe that there are so many ways that we enter and we belong to several types of networks that connect us. We're in the age of Aquarius now, an age of energy. And so we connect energetically through our vibrational network, similar to the internet. But without all the equipment, without all the huge Wi-Fi bills from the providers, it's free. Our vibrational energy fields just create this atmosphere around us that passes information. Our digital signatures, our state of consciousness, our intention, our essence, back and forth, attracting to us matching energies that we need for whatever life lessons we're here to learn. Any life lessons we're embarking on. And so we attract friends this way. We fall in love this way. We attract people, places, situations based on our energy fields. And as we do our spiritual work, as we do our prayer and our meditation and our yoga and the things that raise our vibration, then our vibrational level is at a place where, we have cleaned up our thoughts, we've cleaned up our habits and behaviors, and the things that which doesn't serve us anymore, the people, the situations, the careers, the vocations, the experiences, the friendships, the things that don't suit us anymore just fall away. And then we attract more suitable friendships. We attract more suitable partnerships, experiences, situations, connections, careers, vocations. It's really wonderful that way. And if we are quite fortunate, then we have this soul group of people around us who are also growing with us along their journey. They're always working and raising their vibration as well. And so we get to grow together in this journey, and they don't fall away because we just continue to lift each other up and move forward together. So all of this happens through vibrational connection, this network we have with each other, our world, our universe, the cosmos, through this central power, through this central creative force and intelligence called spirit or God or the universe or Bob or whatever works for you. So we know now that we are inextricably connected. So whatever we think, say, and do affects everyone and everyone else and everything else in the world. And it all comes back full circle to us. When we do something, anything, whether neutral or positive or negative, the universe mirrors it back to us. Whatever we dish out, be prepared for a huge helping of something of equal value and quality. And that is good news. That is good news that it comes back because we're in this feedback loop that tells us where we are. And it gives us the opportunity to improve upon that. It gives us the opportunity to improve our life experience and become a more beneficial presence in the world because we see where we are and we know where we want to go, and then we can see which changes we need to make in order to be where we're going. So since the universe is responsive, if we want to experience more kindness, we can just offer more kindness to the world without strings, without expectations, just freely offering it. And I have faith that if you practice this, you will experience more kindness in your life. Maybe not from the places that you think that it's going to come from or expect it to come from, but you will experience it from somewhere. And if you want to experience more peace, then you need to be the peace that you want to experience. You need to be a place where peace shows up. And so practice at home first. Do your spiritual practice. Feel what it feels like to be peace. But then you need to take it out into the world. We all need to take this out into the world. The world needs our peace. And so we practice it on the road when we're in our cars and somebody cuts us off. And instead of cussing or flipping them off or throwing our hands up or getting all internally upset and sending out that vibration of negativity, we might want to remember that that person may be going through a hard time right now. They may be trying to get to someone. They may be trying to get to one of their kids, and it's an emergency. And so instead of sending out this negativity because we've taken it personal and think they're doing it to us, we say a prayer for them. We say a prayer for everyone around them so that they're safe too with this person driving who's upset. We say a prayer and we bring peace to that situation. Another way we can bring peace is, if you're in line at the grocery store and somebody decides to write a check instead of Apple Pay, and they're going to take 5 or 10 minutes to write this check. This is a good time for you to sink in to that deep peace within you and just bring peace to the entire space, to your entire atmosphere all around you. That's what we're here to do. That's our purpose. And when you get really good at that, maybe you can take the ultimate peace challenge, which is master social, master social media peace bringer. You can go on Facebook and there's lots of places that you can bring peace, or Instagram, or whatever social media you're using. And if you do something cool like that, if you bring peace in that way, post in the comments below on Facebook for this talk, because I want to go back and read what you are up to, because I love a good story. So tell me your stories and I'll be sure to come back and read that. So Ernest Holmes stated in the Science of Mind textbook on page 331, in treatment, there should always be a recognition of the absolute unity of God and man and woman and person, the oneness, inseparability, indivisibility, changelessness, God as the big circle, human as the little circle. Human is in God and God is in human, just as the drop of water is in the ocean while the ocean is in the drop of water. This means that you cannot separate the ocean from the drop of water. Let me say that again. You cannot separate the ocean from the drop of water. You cannot separate God from the human. You can never be separated from God, ever, ever. Take a deep breath and let us pray. Just breathing this all in, breathing in how beautifully, inextricably connected we are. Breathing in, remembering the one life, the one power, the one presence, the one creative force that is in and through all that is, the seen and in the unseen, the underground, where the fungi are creating this space for us to breathe in this very moment. We are all connected. We are one with God, one with all that is, one with everything around us. And we are so blessed. We are blessed by the givingness of nature, this place of reciprocity of the giving and the receiving and the giving and the receiving. We are all in this beautiful cycle of love. And so I give thanks for this knowing. I give thanks for this awareness and consciousness. And I release this word into the law of mind that only knows, yes, it is done. There is nothing that we need to do but simply know it is so. And together we say, and so it is. All right. So now it is time for our offering. And in a moment, we'll have